August 2023. It's humid in New Orleans, even at night. The air is heavy. It's quiet. Or at least it sounds quiet to the guards in the control pod. But inside one of the cells, 6 men are working. Now, they aren't digging a tunnel like with a spoon like in a movie. I mean, that's kind of Hollywood. But they're crowded around the stainless steel combo unit. The sink and the toilet fixture is bolted to the back wall. And to you and me, that fixture looks like it's solid. It looks like it's part of the building. But these men have been testing it, nudging it, listening to the sound it makes when you hit it. And then they realize something that shouldn't be true in a $145 million maximum security facility. The wall behind the toilet isn't concrete. It's frame. And the bolts that are holding down the toilet, they're loose. So on a Sunday night, while the guards are doing the rounds on a schedule that the inmates have well memorized, probably down to the second, they make their move. They don't pick a lock. They physically rip out the entire toilet unit out of the wall. And when the metal comes away, they don't see rebar. They don't see poured concrete. They see a dark, open space. A maintenance chase, a secret hallway running right behind their cell, leading straight to the outside world. So how does this happen? How does a modern high-tech facility fail because of a plumbing fixture? Well, it happens because of a phrase that keeps security directors up at night: value engineering. Now, when this jail was designed, I am pretty sure some security consultant, if they were asked for hardened chases. They probably wanted the plumbing wall be reinforced with concrete from floor to ceiling, or rebar, something to create a barrier with some time, make some noise. You can't just escape. But concrete's expensive and rebar is expensive. So at some point during construction, I can just imagine that some project manager looked at the budget and was like, we can probably save about $200K if we just switch these plumbing walls, because, who's going to go through a toilet, to be reinforced mesh and drywall. Is, again, purely hypothetical. And they viewed that wall as a utility, a place to run pipes. They probably didn't think about it as a barrier. This is sort of where the security mind disconnects. The architect sees a wall, the builder sees a budget, the inmate sees a permeable membrane. Now, the inmates in Pod 2E didn't escape through a flaw in the design. They escaped through a flaw in the procurement. Probably. They exploited the fact that people in the building probably cared more about the schedule and the budget than they did the physical reality of the perimeter. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but damn! A hole in the wall isn't enough. You need time to use it. And this is the part that's even worse. The inmates are probably the ultimate security auditors. They have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to do absolutely nothing but just sit and observe their environment. They watch the guards. They learn the shift changes. They know that Officer Miller checks the cell every day, but Officer Jones only glances at the window. And they weaponize their boredom. Well, in New Orleans, the dynamic security, that is the human element, collapsed. The facility was chronically understaffed, and the inmates knew the staffing levels probably better than the warden did. Somebody would probably be like, why do you have 24 hours a day sitting there observing their environment? They knew exactly how much noise they could make. They knew exactly how long they had so that they could rip that metal out to squeeze 6 grown men through a 14-inch hole and crawl to freedom before anyone would notice that a toilet was missing. If you have a 10-inch hole in your security and you have a guard walking by every 30 minutes, you don't have an escape, you have a property damage report. But if you have a 10-inch hole and nobody looks for a bunch of hours, then you have a manhunt. So there's another layer here, leverage. Try to rip a stainless steel toilet off of a wall with your bare hands. Well, here's the thing. There's always patterns and things are predictable. It's probably a maintenance worker who leaves a wrench on the cart because it's coming right back. It's the contractor who drops a piece of scrap metal during a repair and he doesn't pick it up because it's just trash. And to an inmate, that trash is gold. That piece of scrap metal is a shank, a screwdriver, a pry bar. In a secure environment, total control is an absolute necessity. It's a religion. You bring 5 tools out, you leave with 5. You leave with 4, the facility locks down until the 5th is found. And if that discipline slips, if the staff gets tired or lazy or complacent, the inmates notice immediately. And they are hunting for the mistake that you haven't made yet. So why am I telling you about a jailbreak in New Orleans? Because you might be making the exact same mistake with your own security. I mean, we all suffer from sort of an illusion of solidity. We look at things that appear that they're strong and we trust them. And you look at the lock on your front door and you think, I'm safe. You look at the particular website that has good security protocols on it, my data is secure. But the inmates in New Orleans prove that the appearance of security is not the same as the reality of security. The stainless steel toilet looked solid. It was shiny, it was heavy, and it looked like it was not going to move. But behind it, there was nothing but air. The bad guys, whether they're burglars, hackers, con artists, they don't look at just the shiny surface. They tap on the walls. They listen for hollow sounds. They try things. They go in with confidence. The New Orleans escapes that there's no such thing as a secure object. There are only objects that are being watched. And we all have some sort of a wall or a door or a lock that we trust. Do you know exactly what's behind it? No, that's not the moral. The moral of the story is make sure you understand what the security is. And it's not about appearance. Maximum high security prison breached because some guys managed to move a toilet. See you next time.